Hey everyone, my name is Brandon. This is my wife Heidi,
Hi.
and we pastor the Northwest campus of Living Word out in Rogers, Minnesota. Actually, we meet at a movie theater, so we got shut down real quick. So we have been excited to work with Pastor Mac and Lynn, and honored and just blessed to have this opportunity to
Yes.
share our hearts online. And then we'll actually be holding our services live as well. We're going to be live streaming them. So crazy times we're living in, but also exciting to see how God is still moving. And I know that's hard to hear sometimes if things are really difficult for you. Maybe you've lost your job, or maybe somebody is sick in your family. Maybe you haven't been able to see people that you love. And we want you to know we feel that, and we know it's hard, and that's why we're praying for the church, but also for Living Word and its members and congregation and all the different campuses, St. Paul, Northwest, here in Brooklyn Park, but also just keeping an attitude of prayer for anybody out there. You might be watching, you just stumbled on this, maybe you don't even go to church. Just know that our hearts are there, connected with what you're going through, and we are believing that God is moving on this land, bringing healing to this land. That's where our faith stands, and we just hope that you'll receive something today that'll bless your heart in this situation. I actually wanted to title this segment Blind as a Bat. Blind as a Bat. I want to focus on part of Psalm 91 here. Psalm 91:15, there's a portion that says, "You will find and feel my presence even in your time of pressure and trouble." Find and feel God's presence even in our times of pressure and trouble. So how does that relate to being blind as a bat? I'm actually blind as a bat. If I take these off, everything disappears. Heidi becomes a slightly tan blob. I can't see anything. I've got crazy bad eyesight. I suppose that's not really a faith statement right there, but I'm blind as a bat. So like when I get done brushing my teeth at night, I don't have my glasses on. Heidi's got the lights off in the bedroom, trying to fall asleep, and I'm trying to make my way to like the bed, and it's pitch black. And pitch black is different when you can't see, like because of like glasses, than just everybody else's pitch black. And if you have glasses or contact, you know what I'm talking about. It is I can't just like not see, like I can not see. So I'm doing like the, reaching around. This is like every night. I don't know, we should figure out something different bedtime routine. But seriously, like darkness is like darkness for me. And interestingly enough, we kind of joke about this, that weakness that I have, that blindness that I have, I'm not blind, but that vision issue that I have has made me stronger in other areas. So for instance, I have like a freakishly good sense of smell, like for real, freakishly good sense of smell. And then also like hearing, like I have like bat sonar hearing. It's really weird. Like I hear everything. Like I'm the guy who sleeps with like the professional swimmers wax earplugs in, so I cannot hear anything, but then I still wake up because I hear stuff. So it's so weird, because I've kind of like just determined that these other senses that I have are heightened to make up for this blindness, this lack of good vision. So let's relate that to Psalm 91:15. You're like, yeah, finally. You will find and feel my presence even in your time of pressure and trouble. So pressure and trouble, you could say, are weaknesses. It's a time of weakness when we're under pressure or we find ourselves in trouble, kind of like we are right now in our nation and in the world. So maybe those weaknesses heighten our awareness to something or someone else. Maybe like our sense of blindness in this time of crisis, we can't see what's coming next. We don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe our sense of blindness during this crisis is enhancing our ability to hear the Lord, to hear better, clearly, what he's saying, what he's speaking, what he desires to see come through this, to hear God's voice and really to feel his presence. Just like, okay, so feeling around the bedroom, after I do that enough times, because I can't see, I know where everything is now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do you know what I'm saying? You have something to add to this? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I can. I just think it's so cool how in the middle of Psalm 91, it's all about how he's protecting us and all that stuff, but that there's this point that in trouble and pressure, you will find and feel my presence. So there's something that is important to his presence. And when we're in the presence of God, everything shifts.
Yeah,
everything
right.
changes. There's revelation, there's wisdom, there's insight, there's new ideas, there's healing in his presence. That he's making this point that in this protection chapter in Psalms that he wants to make a point of his presence. And as believers, we carry his presence with us everywhere that we go.
Yeah.
So like when we know that we've got this presence of God, we can release that. We can release the peace into the grocery stores. We can release the peace into our neighborhoods, into our cities, into our world. This presence that we ask the Lord that his manifest presence will come out of us into where we're at, and that things will shift, that there will be healing, that there will be deeper revelations of who he is. Things will, eyes will be opened to see him for the first time because his presence is here.
Yeah, that's good.
Just that manifest heaven on earth.
Yeah.
Heaven on earth, that manifestation.
Right, it's like his presence becomes like familiar, more and more familiar to us as we sense.
And joy in his presence in the midst of something that's pressure and trouble. Like it's like this greater grace of his presence. Like that's what we ask for, is that, his presence would be evident.
Yeah.
So that things can change and shift and
because there's fullness of joy, in his presence.
Yeah.
And I think the more we practice just being aware of his presence, it becomes second nature. It's like I was saying, with the more I've walked from that walk of death from the bathroom to the bed and it's pitch black, it's like I can feel, I can sense when I'm getting close to the bed, when I'm getting close to the nightstand. I mean, there was a million times where I've knocked over the lamp or stepped on a Lego or ran into the corner of the nightstand, of course, but after doing it enough times, you can just kind of feel, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like you just kind of like the sixth sense, you just kind of feel where you're at, right? And maybe God, as we are sensitive to his presence in us, as we find and feel his presence, maybe God can turn what's kind of like a curse into courage for us, to not be afraid of what we might run into. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "But he answered me, my grace is always more than enough for you. And my power," listen, "my power finds its full expression through your weakness." I got to read that again. "My grace is always more than enough for you, and my power finds its full expression through what? Like through our weakness, through our blindness." And then it goes on to say, so I will celebrate, we will celebrate our weaknesses. "For when I'm weak, I sense more deeply the mighty power of Christ living in me." Not when I'm strong, I sense Christ. Not when it's perfect, I sense Christ. Not when everybody's healthy, I sense Christ. In my weakness. So it says right here, we can celebrate our weaknesses, that is actually humility. It's okay to admit your weaknesses, people. It's okay to be worried right now, to be like a little nervous when you let your kid go outside to play with the neighbor kid. That's okay. It's okay to use like so much hand sanitizer that your food starts to taste like hand sanitizer. And you all know what I'm talking about. You rub your eye and it burns and it's on fire and you're like, what? Oh my, right? Too much hand. It's okay. It's okay to do that right now. I think of his power. I think of God's power that it says in 2 Corinthians that he wants to release. His power, it works, and it's looking for our weaknesses like water trying to find its way through rock. It's looking for that crack, that fault, that space. His power is looking for those cracks and faults and spaces so that it can work through us. And it's his power, which is the same power that raised Christ from the dead, amen, that finds its full expression in our weakness. Joshua 1:9 says, "This is my command, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. For the Lord God is with you wherever you go." I feel like God's saying this to somebody who is afraid. And he's saying, wait, let me address that. He's saying this to somebody who is discouraged. He's saying, wait, let me help you. Listen. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Wherever you go, wherever you are right now, God is with you. In your fear, in your anxiety, he's with you. In your doubt of what's going to happen, of what's going to happen next, in those thoughts, he's with you. He's faithful. At the doctor, if you're in a hospital right now, God is with you. In your living room, in your office, in your car, in your bedroom, wherever you're listening or watching this right now, God is with you. In your weakness, in your lowest point, God is with you, just like he's there on the best of days. God is with you. He's faithful. He's merciful and compassionate. He loves you, and he is with you wherever you go. And we just want you to know that we do. We truly love you guys. We're praying, not just for our nation, not just for this church, but we're praying that as we speak, that the voice behind our voice is just ministering to wherever you're at. We don't know where you're at in all this. This may not be a big deal to you. You may be posting some funny memes and life is good and you're just waiting for it to blow over. You may be like super in faith and everything's great. You may be at the lowest point and you're worried and you're nervous and you're freaking out. You may have like self-quarantined yourself for the next, 8 weeks. God is with you. He's with you, and we love you, and we're praying for you.
Yeah, just know that we are praying for you to just really experience him in a new way that you've never experienced him before. We're praying for you every day because we love you, and we know that God's going to be doing that for you too.
Yeah, thank you guys.